This is another camera we've got lying about. Normally this would be our B cam. It's a Canon C300. It's a really nice camera. You know, it complements the Red as a B cam really well. Never going to be a Red. You're fake. But it's good. Hey guys, it's Dan again from the videos team. First off, episode 3, as this is an episodic series, if it gets past this, probably should introduce the episode. So yeah, episode 3. Now, I've had some feedback from the team members from the other videos. Not all good, but remember this is my first ever time on camera, if you don't include the last 2 videos. So I'm still a newbie. Jazz, our PA, she had some pretty brutal feedback. Apparently I'm monotone. Now, I've been filming Joey for the last like 7 or 8 months, so I've learned everything from him. Enough said. So she's told me to be a little bit more animated, a bit more confident. Other feedback from a mate called Andy. Told me to cut my hair. We're in a f***ing lockdown, man. Also, that's rich coming from him. Notice the lack of hair. So yeah, I need to be a little bit more animated, cut my hair, and just come across a little bit more confident, which is hard when I've got no confidence. Also, I am very monotone in real life. So that's probably not going to change, so I decided to do a little bit more prep, you know, practice what I preach. This video, again, based off Joe's book, it's all about pre-production or pre-production to your marketing videos. So it's basically the planning stage. We say pre-production in the biz. I treat you like f***ing idiots. It's pre-production. You know what that means, I'm sure you do. So this is essentially about getting your strategy in place, so your video strategy. It's probably one of the fundamental aspects in making video and producing video. You know, you don't want to piss away a load of time producing the videos and making the content when there's no real structure behind it. Every film, every TV series, most YouTube content, unless it's done on the fly, kind of walking around talking, will have some planning behind it. Now, it doesn't need to be extensive. You don't need to hire a storyboard artist or, you know, a team of script writers. It's definitely recommended that you do a bit of planning, as I have for this episode. Now, a lot of the shit I say is based on experience, so I don't necessarily write down word for word based off what's in Joe's book. I'll skim through it because I'm not reading this. That's your job. Pre-production, strategy, having a solid starting block for your video content. Plan it. Get a strategy in place. He goes on to say, you know, if you fly, man. Start again. So he goes on to say, if you want results, you need a strategy in place. You need a plan. You need a way to optimize and streamline your production. If you get a solid strategy in place, you have that plan and you know what you're gonna go shoot on a day, it saves you a load of time, which means you're not investing all of your time in making this video content. You can run your business. You've got more time for yourself, your kids, your family, whatever it is, you know, bird watching. Like birds, not like birds. So yeah, plan. I'm gonna say that a lot in this video. So what I'm gonna go over now is mostly what we do every time we make a video. Most of our videos, we follow these guidelines and it just makes the whole process much more seamless and easy on the day. You know, we're busy, Joey's busy, the guys are busy. So we need to have a bit of planning involved to make the most of their time when, you know, Joe's not at the gym or on Instagram or Facebook or watching Netflix. He's busy. Number 1 is choose a marketing strategy. So consider how you want to use your video within your marketing strategy. You know, what platform will it be on? Who's it going to target? You know, what's the end result that you want a user to do? You know, what's the CTA? What do you want to achieve from this video? You've got your viewers watching it. What do you want them to do now? Number 2 is plan your video. Pretty much everything I've just said, but it's in the book. So number 2, plan your video. You don't need a full-blown storyboard, but it's good to have. You know, the more you progress, the bigger videos you make, the bigger production. It's good practice. Based on the script that you've written, or the notes that you've written, or the bullet points, whatever, try and make or sketch a little storyboard out. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Little stick men, that's good. Based on the storyboard, you know, kind of decide how many people the production is going to take. If it's just yourself, or if you need you and a cameraman, or if you've got someone coming on, kind of work out the size and the scale of the production based on that. More than likely, if you're watching these videos, it's just going to be yourself. I'm doing this on my own. There's no one else in the office at the moment. I'll record this a little bit. Just me, script, computer, empty office. F me, I didn't even record that. Work out how many people are involved in production based off your storyboard and your script. That way you can chooses in shot, you can be a little bit more efficient and streamlined with the process. If you can, make a budget based off this. So if you know you're going to be in 6 different locations, you might need a budget, you might need transport, you might have to pay someone off to get in. Budget's always handy. Number 3, get to know your customers. You want to ask yourself, some smart questions about who your clients are, who your customers are. Find out exactly what they want. Having a good idea of what they want to watch has a massive impact on the kind of content you're producing, or at least it gives you a good idea of what you want to shoot. Find out more about your customer. Number 4 is write an awesome script, just like I have, and I've not written shit. Carefully write out your script, word for word. Now this isn't something I always follow, but it's definitely recommended for the production. If you don't follow it, if you go off script, it's great. Maybe not great, it's fine. If it's just a rough outline for you to follow, that's cool. We go off script a lot. It's a little bit more natural. Maybe we've written something or someone's written something for us and it doesn't quite flow right, or it's not something we would normally say. We go off script, it's fine.
Yeah, it finished strong. We pretty much hit the numbers in terms of what we were expecting to hit. Let me just finish this apple.
As long as you've got that basic fundamentals of what you want to say and that's delivered correctly, you're golden. But have a script. Joey mentions in the book that our scripts follow a 7-step guide, which is our proven way. It's tried and tested, and it's how we create engaging video content. This that I'm doing is an exception. It depends how well Tom edits it. He's doing a good job. Number 5 is your equipment. You need to choose your equipment carefully. Now, if you've only got a phone or a small DSLR and you don't have a luxury of choosing equipment, then you're stuck with what you got. Make the most of it. But based on the previous points, if you can, choose some equipment that's going to be necessary for this production. If there's a lot of dialogue, you're going to need some decent audio equipment. Sound is a massive part of how your video is perceived. If you've got terrible sound, no one's going to watch it, no matter how good the cinematics are. So yeah, it can range from like simple audio equipment on your smartphone to, if you've got the budget and the luxury, then a bigger production, lighting, technicians, a nice camera, lenses, and then it's production time. So your first videos aren't going to be full-on cinematic production. Like sometimes an unpolished video can be used to your advantage. It can look good or it can fit a purpose. You don't always need to have hot production quality. On the fly stuff is really good. Social content, people lap it up, is a little bit more personal. If you're making YouTube videos and bigger content, then it might not work as well, or mix it in, it might do well, but just bear in mind, not everything you're going to do is going to be a top-notch production or necessarily needs to be. Saying that, it is really important to adopt, the points that we've discussed before, so that you can scale up your strategy. It's so important to have that plan before you start shooting. Pre-production might seem boring. I know it's not my favorite part of filming. I just prefer to go out and film cars and hot women, men. No preference. It might seem boring, but it is essential, and I hope I got that point across. Whatever you do, don't invest a lot of time into producing a video unless you've got that strategy behind you, and that's it. I don't know why I sound like I was going to go on more. Just make sure you've got that strategy. It'll only benefit you and your business. This next bit is a few questions you should ask yourself, which will ultimately save you a lot more time in the pre-production process. So they're called SMART questions. Obviously I've not written them. That would entail having some smarts. So number 1, what is the purpose of your video? What is the purpose of your video? What's the purpose of my video? What's the purpose of mine? Number 2, what action do you want your viewers to take after watching your video? Not to string me up outside my house for making content. Number 3, what do they need to know to take that action? If we're referring to the previous question, I don't want them to take any action. And number 4, who is your target audience? I love everyone. I want everyone to see this. Or number 5, what kind of video would my target audience want to watch? I'm not making one of those. Number 6, what's the core message? Sit-ups. Lots of sit-ups, although I don't think it means that core message. Number 7, how can you make your video represent your brand? Stick a few videos logos up here, down there. I want to know. Number 8, what does your audience need to know to buy your product or service? Number 9, so is your audience already familiar? Is your audience already familiar with your business? If not, how will you educate them in your video? Number 11, number 10, number 11, number 12. What obstacles does your audience have to overcome to buy your product or service? Sitting through these long ass videos That'd be mine. So I'm hoping that you've got some kind of value, or at least you're asking yourself some more questions that will help you figure out the kind of content you want in your video, or getting to know your audience better. At least it should prompt you to have a bit more of a script and strategy in place around your video content and making your content. I can't stress enough pre-production. Your video can look hot, you know, I mean, but you need that structure in place. I don't know if I've said this, but everything I'm going to be covering in these videos going forward is in Joey's book. So I definitely recommend picking up a copy. The link will be somewhere in the description below. He's done a course called Fade to Black, which is pretty in-depth. And covers everything you need to know in making video, producing video. You know, there's a lot of on-screen time with him. If any of these videos you're finding useful, you definitely get more value in the stuff Joey's preaching. He comes across a lot better on camera than I do. So if you've not switched off at this point, definitely check out his course. And also, you know, the videos platform is such a valuable resource for anyone producing videos at any stage in their business. We've got clients ranging from Tesla and Pepsi and other big brands, which I can't remember. We've got some big clients, you know. Lots of high-end companies use our product, but it's not just aimed at those. You know, they've got massive budgets and marketing spend, but they still find the value and ease in using the videos platform, as will any business and any size. Check out the link somewhere around this video. We got thousands of templates, thousands of logo animations and stingers and text overlays. Maybe have a look through the templates and see if you can incorporate those into your script building. You might find that whilst writing your storyboard and your script that, do you know what, an animation would go great there, or I saw an animation on the video's website, I could stick my logo on that and that'd be great for this section of the video. Although it's pre-production, you should have an idea in the final stages of the output of the video on how it should look. That will give you a load of insight on the pre-production, so you can also work backwards. I mean, I tend to have a good idea of what the end video should look like. That helps me in a pre-production stage. That's based on me getting influence or ideas from places. So, I mean, I look at like Pinterest, other YouTube videos, or I've seen something in a film, or I've seen a vintage magazine, or I've seen a prop somewhere and I thought, do you know what, that looks sick. And I kind of base an idea around that. It's kind of reverse engineering what we've gone over. So have an idea, script it, you'll get a better idea of how the output's going to be. I should probably give you some kind of context or example of my planning. It's actually to do with Joey's book. When we were launching this, I wanted to shoot some really cool content to get some stills for the book, but also just to have something unique to show, maybe some social content. It wasn't going to be an elaborate piece, so I set up in the basement the book, kind of just sitting there, set a tripod up, had an idea of what I wanted to achieve lighting wise. I wanted to all be light from a single source. So I had a lighter and a can of hairspray and I went to town. My idea was something impactful that would grab the viewer's attention straight onto the book. I knew I wanted stills for the website and the landing page, and I knew I wanted some social content. And it went really well. Don't tell Joey. It might have not gone as well as I thought. If you want a free copy of the book, we have one spare. It's slightly used. So I had an idea, a concept, roughly scripted it, I shot it, stuck it together, and it was pretty much exactly how I wanted it. But it gives you an example of how useful planning is and how strategy will benefit any videos you make. I probably rambled on too much, but I'm trying to be more confident because Jazz told me to. So that's it for episode 3. Next video, I'm going to be going over something that's really not of interest to me at all. Metrics, statistics, stats. There's definitely going to be some monotone in this video. Cheers guys. Peace.